I'm sitting on my book throne. Yeah, that's right, I have a throne made out of books. So what? I have a lot of books. And I feel like we've been talking about television so much lately that it's easy to forget that we are also bookworms. So I've read a lot of books, and by now I know what kind of books are good and what kind of books are bad. And I have read a lot of bad books. So in order to avoid that particular circumstance happening to all you out there, I'm going to recommend some good books for you. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I don't really like anything else John Green has written, but this I thought was just an amazing, touching book, and it's a book that could be really sad, but it's not really sad, and it's funny and witty and clever, and I really like the characters, and it's a really great book, so if you're into that, read it, definitely. Very moving. If you're more of a short story kind of person, then I have two recommendations for you. Any collection of Neil Gaiman books is a really good choice, because he does a lot of short stories, and they're very weird, so you gotta be into very weird. He's like dark and kind of menacing, but at the same time fantastical, and he's really hard to explain. So check him out if you're interested. He's kind of like the Tim Burton of the literary world. So if you like Tim Burton style, maybe you'll like Neil Gaiman. Second recommendation is a classic. The Grimm Brothers Book of Fairy Tales, because there is nothing more entertaining than flipping through this honkin' book and finding one of the fairy tales that Disney chose not to produce. And this is the best thing to do if you're into like sleepovers and you have friends with like a sick sense of humor like I do, and you just sit on down and pick up this book and you will have so much fun. I love the Grimm Brothers. So there are only a few books I think that everybody should read in their lifetime, and this is one of them. The Phantom Tollbooth. It is a book about this boy, nope, that's a dog, this boy, and he has a phantom tollbooth, and he drives off to a magical land of words and numbers and magic. And it's just a great book full of great morals, and the only thing that it has more than morals is puns. So if you are a punny person, this book is so for you. Like in the first chapter, you meet the Weatherman, and he isn't weather spelled W-E-A-T-H-E-R. He's the other kind of weather, and he doesn't tell you the weather, he tells you whether or not there'll be weather. So, pretty much genius writing. Alright, if you're a fantasy buff, and you have long enjoyed the beautiful works of J.K. Rowling and the Harry Potter series, then I suggest that you reread the Harry Potter series, because there's nothing else too much like it, and it's just fantastic, and it definitely holds up to rereading, so you should check that out. But if you're looking for a new book and you're a little bit older now because you read Harry Potter when you were a kid, I didn't plan this one out in advance, I'd suggest the Kingkiller Chronicles or the Kingslayer Chronicles. And the first one is The Name of the Wind, and I can't show you that one right now because I'm lending it to somebody, but the second one is The Wise Man's Fear, and it's a 3-book series, and it's a really big book, but don't let that intimidate you. It's pretty small font, but still, you can handle it. And it's really a cool take on magic and magical lands and creatures and all that stuff, heroism. So you should check it out if you're interested. Last but not least, I want to talk to you about a book that I have read that is unlike any other book I've ever read before. And I suggest it to anyone, anywhere, if you want to try something different. And that is Don DeLillo's White Noise. This is a very modern-y take on life and death, and it is just fascinating, and it is nothing like you've ever read before, and I don't know, it's kind of a life-changing book, I think. So if you just want to try something new, I can't think of a better suggestion. And I'd tell you what it's about, but there's no way to tell you what it's about. It's about Hitler and grocery stores and barns and television. So, read White Noise. Alright, that's all the books I care to talk about at the moment. There are probably a million more fantastic ones that I didn't get to or don't have. So if you have any suggestions for me, that would be great, because I am always looking for a new story. So, have I seriously read all of these? Think of all that time that I could have been doing something. Oh well. Bye! Oh, that's right, you dared me to reveal details about my first crush. So here's that portion of this monologue. His name was Jacob, and I wrote an essay about this at one point, so sticking with our literary theme. So his name was Jacob. It was kindergarten. We used to sit on the alphabet rug, and he would kiss me on the cheek whenever the teacher wasn't looking, provoked by his friend. And one day he got in trouble for something and was sent to like kindergarten detention, and he had to like erase papers for her or sharpen pencils or something for the teacher. And I specifically got in trouble so that I could be in kindergarten detention with him. And it just so happened that was the day that Miss Portillo, my kindergarten teacher, brought in all of her old prom dresses and wedding dresses and pretty things for all the girls to play with. And I remember just like crying because I was sitting in detention while all the other girls got to play with pretty dresses. So apparently Jacob wasn't really that important to me. Yep, so there's that instance of my life. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Bye!